It's 103 degrees in Glendale, Arizona, so come on inside where it's very comfortable as the hometown Cardinals get ready to meet the Patriots on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, Sunday night.
The beauty on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, Sunday night.
And here we go.
Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen. America's game, been waiting all day. The Pats and the Cards have come to play. The games are here, let's turn it up. It's the NFL, can't get enough. We got a battle tonight, a winner take all, ain't nothing like Sunday Night Football. It's out of control, get set, let's go. The clock's winding down, let's rock and roll. Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen. The hits keep coming and the lights keep flashing. Come on, get ready for the action. Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen, and the hits keep coming and the lights keep flashing. Come on, get ready for the action. Sunday night.
Here we go as the NFC West champion Arizona Cardinals are ready to come out onto the field before their normal raucous home crowd, and they are really fired up tonight as the Cardinals are primed to face Jimmy Garoppolo and the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, welcome to the first Sunday night game of the season. Cardinals last year won a club record 13 games, had the #1 offense in the league, but it came to a crashing halt. They were blown out by Carolina in the NFC Championship game, but all of their key guys are back and they are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. The Patriots are always legitimate Super Bowl contenders. This year, of course, a different story, though, at the beginning of the year. No Tom Brady, as you know, suspended for 4 games. Jimmy Garoppolo will get the start tonight, first of his career, and they're minus Rob Gronkowski and some other key people. But we all know Bill Belichick. He always pulls that rabbit out of the hat. So, Chris, tell me what's in that bag of tricks tonight.
You may have to be Houdini tonight because no Brady, no Gronkowski, two of the best of all time. Both the starting offensive tackles also going to miss this one, and Jimmy Garoppolo with that first start. But it is New England, and it is Bill Belichick. There'll be no excuses tonight.
High hopes for the Cardinals this year. They came within a game of getting to the Super Bowl last year. What do you think of this year's edition?
I think it's one of the most exciting teams in football. They have tremendous speed. They love to throw the ball deep. They blitz more than any team in football. Fast break offense, fast break defense. It'll be a show in the desert tonight.
Today, of course, marks the 15th commemoration of the events of September 11, 2001. And as you look at One World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, when we come back, messages from Presidents Bush and Obama and the national anthem when we return to Arizona.
NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
On this 15th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on our country, the National Football League, its teams and players, ask that we remember the events of that day and our nation's resilience with a special message from Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama as we honor our country and pay tribute to those we lost.
As the years go by, September the 11th, 2001 can seem like part of a different era. For many, today may feel like any football Sunday in America. But for the nearly 3,000 families whose loved ones were stolen 15 years ago, the memory of that morning is fresh, and so is the pain. So on this solemn anniversary, We remember the innocent souls who boarded flights, showed up for work at the World Trade Center, reported for duty at the Pentagon, and started their shifts at police and fire stations. Today we honor them and salute their families, especially their children, whose lives have come to embody America's resilience and hopefulness, our compassion, and our light.
It's up to all of us to carry forward their legacy. Whenever confronted by cowards who seek to destroy, America chooses to be strong and build a better future. It's why so many of our fellow citizens spend this National Day of Service and Remembrance by giving back to their communities or paying forward a simple good deed. That's the spirit we saw after those terrible attacks. That's how we build an America that reflects our values: freedom and opportunity, compassion, openness, and acceptance for all our citizens. That's the work that falls to each of us, today and every day. Thanks, everybody. God bless, and enjoy the game.
At this time, would you please rise? Now, please join our country in a moment of silence. Thank you. Presenting tonight's colors, please welcome the United States Army, Fort Huachuca, Arizona. The large field flag will be unfurled by volunteers from all branches of service. Please welcome Concord recording artist, award-winning singer, actress, and performer, and coming back to Broadway in November, Miss Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, after that stirring rendition of the national anthem and a little demonstration there, of course, everybody looking for something these days post-national anthem or during it. Ready for some football right now? And we check in first with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Al, with the absence of Rob Gronkowski and Nate Solder tonight, Pro Bowl tight end Martellus Bennett will start in his Patriots debut, and Cameron Fleming will start at left tackle for just the third time in his NFL career. Meanwhile, Arizona comes into this game completely healthy, and they get back one of the NFL's premier defensive players. Tyrann Mathieu, who was a contender for Defensive Player of the Year last year, tore his ACL on this interception in Week 15. He returned to practice just 3 weeks ago and missed the entire preseason. But he told me he's been cutting for about 4 months and feels confident going left or right and jumping. He said the only hurdle left to clear out is the mental one, and he hopes to get those jitters out quickly.
And Michelle, it's the second time now that he's had to come back from a major injury, but he's ready to go. So is Bruce Arians, 15-0 at home here against non-division opponents. Arians in his 4th year, he has won 2 Coach of the Year awards, and no stranger to Coach of the Year. He could win it every year. He doesn't win it that often though, because people expect his opposite number to do it on a regular basis. Bill Belichick took over in 2000. Tom Brady took over early in the 2001 season, and you know how potent they have been. But now he has to play the first 4 games of the season without Tom Brady, who is eligible to return in their 5th game, which will be against Cleveland. Julian Edelman, he's ready to go. Jimmy Garoppolo will make his first start, as if he needs smelling salts, Chris. I don't think he does, but he takes them anyway.
He's ready. Why not? It was so interesting trying to get Bill Belichick, though, to say something was a bit unusual about this game without Tom Brady. And he just looked at me like, what are you talking about? You know, it's just next man up. That's what they do here.
Stephen Gostkowski will kick off. Arizona won the toss, and they elected to receive. And that's okay with Belichick, because every time Belichick wins the toss, he defers. Andre Ellington back to receive. The new rule this year, a touchback will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line, no longer the 20. Carson Palmer, who was an MVP candidate last year, is ready to go. And off we go on the final game of the first Sunday of the 2016 season, and we start with a touchback. Let's take a look at the Arizona starters.
Carson Palmer, USC.
David Johnson, Northern Iowa. Larry Fitzgerald, University of Pittsburgh.
Michael Floyd, Notre Dame.
John Brown, Pitt State.
Darren Fells, UC Irvine.
Jared Valdir, Hillsdale College.
Mike Upati, Idaho.
A.Q. Shipley, Penn State.
Evan Mathis, Roll Tide.
DJ Humphries, University of Florida.
PFF position ranks, where they rank at their position, according to the great site Pro Football Focus. So Palmer leads them up. First offensive play of the night from the 25-yard line. David Johnson, his first carry of the season, is a 2-yard gain. Carson Palmer last year was off to a great start. He, along with Brady and Cam Newton, were in the fight for MVP. But then he dislocated the first knuckle of his right index finger against Philadelphia in a victory that also cost them Ty Matthew, and really didn't look the same in postseason. Beat Green Bay, but had an awful afternoon at Carolina, where he had 4 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. But he's healthy, ready to go. Palmer, the one-time Heisman Trophy winner at USC, out of the gun, surveys with good protection and throws out to the 40-yard line, and that's the tight end, Jermaine Gresham. Gresham making the catch, and that's a first down.
Yeah, and you could see watching practice on Friday that Carson Palmer was throwing the ball like this. We saw him at the end of the year in the playoff game against Green Bay, and it just wasn't quite the same as it was during that stretch. A little bobble of the ball by Gresham, like he got it before it hit the ground, though.
Kept it off the ground. They play on real grass here in Arizona. They grow it outside and then roll it in for the games. From the 40. Palmer again protected well, this time very much underthrown. Intended for Michael Floyd. Let's take a look at the Patriot defense.
Chris Long, Virginia.
Alan Branch, University of Michigan.
Malcolm Brown, Texas.
Javal Sheard, Pitt.
Jonathan Franey, Rutgers.
Jamie Collins, Southern Miss.
Dante Hattau, the University of Alabama.
Malcolm Butler, West Alabama University.
Patrick Chung, the Ducks.
Devin McCourty, Rutgers.
Logan Ryan, Rutgers.
One key guy they're missing, 4-game suspension for Rob Ninkovich. You saw Malcolm Butler, whose claim to fame took place in this stadium in the Super Bowl. Now Johnson goes to the outside, and coming in, knifing in to make the tackle is Jamal Sheard, who figures to play a very big role along that defensive front for New England this season.
Well, he better, because that's going to be one of the questions, the whole pass rushing ability along that defensive front. And Jamal Sheard is at least part of the reason, I would think, that they were willing to trade Chandler Jones and let him walk out of here. He had such a great year a season ago with 8 sacks.
Jones now with Arizona, so he'll be facing his old team. It is 3rd and 12. And Palmer hangs in the pocket, throws, that is caught, and trying to get that first down is Larry Fitzgerald. He thinks he has it, but he comes up a little bit short of the 50-yard line. Larry getting up, thought he had it, but he is going to be about a yard short. It will be 4th down.
Well, it's no easy task trying to tackle Larry Fitzgerald. Looked like Logan Ryan was kind of trying to tackle him all the way across the field. But you're talking about the #1 tackling cornerback in the National Football League from a season ago. Logan Ryan did his job, and here comes the punt team.
So 4th down, and in comes Drew Butler. Danny Amendola is coming back from a training camp in which he was injured, getting healthy from knee and ankle injuries. And the delay of game here, they could care less if you're going to punt.
Delay of game, offense.
Going to punt from the 50. Belichick might even decline it.
And you just wonder if Tom Brady and the normal offense.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
We're here in force. Would this be a situation where Bruce Arians might go for it? Or would have.
Very
obviously.
interesting. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, but instead on 4th and 1, and Belichick accepts the penalty, so Butler will take the snap from his own 30-yard line. Amendola stands back at the Patriot 10. And it's a short kick. Amendola takes it at the 18. And Danny brings it back out to the 25-yard line, and that is where one Mr. Jimmy Garoppolo will go to work when we come back to Glendale. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by BMW. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. By Walmart, this season celebrate game time with savings from Walmart. By Verizon, welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next gen network. And by Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on. Past April, 12th annual Pat's Run, 5K run raising money for the Pat Tillman Foundation here in Arizona. So from the 26, before this raucous crowd, off the play fake, Garoppolo's first pass is high. May have been tipped, intended for new acquisition Chris Hogan, who came over from Buffalo. So Jimmy Garoppolo played at Eastern Illinois, same school that Sean Payton and Mike Shanahan and Tony Romo attended. They picked him in the 2nd round in 2014. In 2014, they had a disastrous game on a Monday night in Kansas City, and they were 2-2. They were blown out. As you look at Josh McDaniels, and Garoppolo came in, and the sky was falling in New England, and they thought maybe, well, Brady could be finished. Let's bring in Garoppolo. Next thing you know, they win the Super Bowl as Julian Edelman here is stopped at the 26-yard line.
Going to hit him with the jet sweep early. Going to try and pull a few tricks out here. You'll see Edelman come across the screen. Just hand it to him right away. But that was Marcus Golden who got in the way of it and broke it up. And then Edelman, who's one of the feistier guys around, didn't like that hit from Kevin Minter.
So it's 3rd down and 10. James White is in the game. They also put the rookie receiver Malcolm Mitchell in there. They change up like crazy, as Belichick has done both offensively and defensively through the years, and it's caught by Edelman, and Edelman is able to pick up the first down. They needed 10. He gets 11, moves the chains.
Well, this guy in one-on-one routes is about as tough to cover as there is, and they're going to get a lot of that because of the way that Arizona likes to bring pressure. Maybe not quite as much this year with Chandler Jones. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on it. But that's a matchup that definitely should favor Arizona tonight.
Meanwhile, you got Matthew Slater set to the right, the great special teams maven. Here's LeGarrette Blount. Flag on the play. Tony Correnti is the referee. So right off the bat, you've got all kinds of mixing and matching with Belichick. I mean, Slater rarely plays offensively. Goes to the Pro Bowl every year as a special teamer. He lined up outside that time.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
And that is Ted Karras.
Yeah, it's an interesting offensive line tonight for the New England Patriots. Joe Thuney, a rookie, is going to start at left guard. Ted Karras is going to start, another rookie, at the right guard position right there. And then, of course, you've got the two essentially backup tackles in the game because of the injuries to Sebastian Vollmer and Nate Solder at the outside. So they have been doing some shuffling along that offensive line.
And they did a ton of it last year as well, which was one of the reasons they didn't have a very good running game. The fake to Blunt, then open over the middle is Edelman, and Edelman fights his way, breaks the tackle, picks up a first down. His second, broke out of the grasp of Matthews.
You sure wouldn't know Julian Edelman has a bad foot, would you?
Nope.
Right there. He is a guy that even when you think you get a good shot on him, you don't have that shot. I mean, that looked like, was that Tyrann Mathieu there that had the opportunity to stop him for a relatively short game, just missed.
From the 47 on the ground, this is Blunt, LeGarrette Blunt to the 49 as we meet the Patriot offense.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Eastern Illinois.
LeGarrette Blunt, Perry, Florida.
James Devlin, Brown University.
Julian Edelman, Kent State.
Danny Amendola, Texas Tech.
Marty, the Imagination Agency.
Cameron Fleming, Stanford.
Joe Thuney, North Carolina State.
David Andrews, Georgia. Ted Karras, Illinois.
Marcus Cannon, Texas Christian University.
Marty Martellus Bennett started his career with Dallas, went to the Giants for a year, came over in a trade with the Bears in the offseason. Second down and 8. And Garoppolo swings it to the outside, and just like Brady, he finds number 11, Julian Edelman. Already 3 catches tonight for Edelman, and it makes it third down and 1.
Well, let's tell why. Because the Arizona Cardinals are going to try and bring some pressure as the night goes along. And what does that mean? That means one-on-one coverage on the outside with a free safety in the middle of the field. And if you are a young quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo coming into your first start, there's nothing really easier than throwing one-on-one routes. You've done that your whole life.
James Bettcher, you saw him on the sideline. Second year took over when Todd Bowles got the head job in New York with the Jets as Blunt pounds his way inside the 40 for a first down. He's tackled there by Kevin Minter.
Martellus Bennett right here working on Chandler Jones on the outside, and they have been going that way. Bennett, a large man, and he is brought in here, of course, Gronkowski, one of the better blocking tight ends in all of football, and they look forward to the day that either one of those guys are on the line of scrimmage.
James Devlin in at fullback. Blunt is the tailback. This is the 9th play of the drive. Halfway through the opening quarter, short drop, and then down the sideline, getting open is Chris Hogan for the touchdown. Picked up in the offseason from Buffalo. So, Mr. Garoppolo, smelling salts and all, 9 plays, 74 yards, 37 yards, and the Patriots draw first blood.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals have a rookie playing cornerback right there, Brandon Williams, and he's going to flip around and look at the quarterback like it's a zone coverage. There is no help. There was a free safety in the middle of the field, and for Jimmy Garoppolo, how's that?
So Gostowski now for the extra point. He has kicked 463 in a row in the regular season, but missed that one in the playoffs at Denver, and that was very consequential. And the kick is good. So how's that for an opening drive for the new kid? 7:34 left in the opening quarter. Under the dome in Arizona, 7-0 Patriots. Won't have to miss a moment of tonight's game with the NBC Sports app. You can watch the game anywhere, live on your laptop, tablet, and connected TVs. Looking downtown Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun. Boy, it is the Valley of the Sun today. 103 outside at game time, and about 70 inside. here in Arizona. 7-0, taken at the 1-yard line by Andre Ellington, and that's great coverage by the Patriots. Brings it back to the 10-yard line, back to the touchdown by Hogan.
No question about it. Just one-on-one coverage out here by the rookie, and you see the free safety in the middle of the field, so there's no way it's anything other than just pure man-to-man coverage, and Brandon Williams gets completely toasted by Chris Hogan. And here they were before the game, Patrick Peterson working with Brandon Williams, trying to teach him a few tricks, but it is going to be a process for the former running back who is trying to convert now to play corner. This is just his second year playing the position, and it showed.
Drive begins from the 11-yard line. It's Fitzgerald in motion to the inside. And Palmer with that straight drop. Good protection deep downfield. Hauled in along the sideline by Michael Floyd. Got the measure of Malcolm Butler. Beats him down the sideline. And Palmer is spot on.
Michael Floyd with a quick little double move at the top, faked the out, and just enough to get Malcolm Butler off stride and then keep his feet in bounds. Beautifully done by Carson Palmer. I'll tell you could just see the difference, couldn't you, Al, when we were at practice the other day? He looked sharp. The ball was coming out of his hand just differently. There were throws we saw him last season after that injury where he didn't put his index finger on the ball.
Right, and that was the case at the end of the year in the loss to Seattle. They did beat Green Bay in that phenomenal game, but got killed in Charlotte. This is David Johnson now for a gain of 4. Last year, the Cardinals, #1 in the league in yards per game, 408. Second only to Carolina with 31 points per game. First time in the top 2 since they were the Chicago Cardinals in 49. There is the offensive mastermind, Bruce Arians, who did it in Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger for so long, then took over for Chuck Pagano when Chuck got sick in Indianapolis, and that led to Bruce getting the job here. Palmer on the 2nd and 7, and a little mistiming and communication there, intended for David Johnson. Coming out of the backfield, it'll be 3rd and 7. On the other side, Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, loves to show you a ton of fronts. I mean, he and Belichick, that's some 1-2 combination on that side of the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fun talking to Malcolm Butler, their cornerback, and saying, can you believe we've got a rocket scientist for a defensive coordinator? That's really what he was coming out of school.
3rd down and 7 now. And Palmer throws, and it's incomplete. Almost picked off, intended for J.J. Nelson. Deron Harmon came in, had that in his sights, and Arizona's going to have to punt again. Hightower starts to limp off.
These big linebackers flash in here, and they are a frightening sight for running backs sitting back there having to try and pick them up. Dante Hightower at about 270, and Jamie Collins, 2 of the biggest nightmares for running backs anywhere.
Here's Drew Butler's kick, and it will be fair caught at the 8-yard line by Amendola. Patriot offense back to work. 6:12 to go in the quarter. 7-0 New England. Blind Spot, it's TV's #1 new drama. It's moving to Wednesdays. Blind Spot, season premiere Wednesday after America's Got Talent, the finale of that show on NBC. So Patricia talking to his defense. The offense back in business. James White flanks Garoppolo in the backfield. And White takes the pass. He's got good blocking out in front. And White takes it all the way out to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 22 and a 1st down.
Can offensive line coach Dante Scarnecchia make this much difference with a makeshift group just going to get out in front of James White here? And James White is the receiving threat coming out of the backfield. LeGarrette Blount does a lot of the heavy lifting, and there's one of the rookies, Joe Tooney, down the field making a block.
Now it's Blount trying to thread his way. Minimal gain. Dante Scarnecchia, 68 years old. 2 years ago he stepped aside, and he was a consultant. He worked out some of the guys, and they brought him back this year. But he predates Belichick. He was back in the years when even Pete Carroll was the coach in the early 90s, and then Bill Parcells. And Belichick very happy to have Dante back. 2nd and 9 from the 30. Garoppolo hit as he gets it away. 3rd down and 9. So the pressure put on that time. Corey Peters coming right through the middle. Just that shoulder pad. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Peters right here working against David Andrews, who's just in his 2nd year. And Garoppolo had to get rid of that one quickly. Now we're seeing Arizona come out of some of that man coverage and back into some zones to give their pass rushers a chance to get there.
Under 5 minutes to go in the quarter, and action up front before the snap.
Like Robert Kimdichie jumping off sides to make this a 3rd and short.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 90. 5-yard penalty, it remains 3rd down.
Kimdichie, their number 1 pick out of Mississippi, makes it a 3rd and 4.
Gotta be careful. They've got a lot of rules with the centers and what they can do with the ball in their head and all those things, but National Football League's a little different than playing in college.
From the 35 now.
Brandon Williams out there on Julian Edelman this time.
3rd and 4. They're going to keep it on the ground, and fighting his way for a 1st down, James White up to the 39-yard line. They had hoped to have Dion Lewis back this year. He got hurt last year, but then he got hurt again in training camp. He is eligible to come back later in the season, but they've got Blunt, and then White is the 2nd guy.
I tell you, they have been running behind Martellus Bennett almost all night, and he's getting it done.
They're going to measure this. They're going to spot it right at the 39-yard line. And if that yellow line is on the money, that'll be a 1st down. Tis half the length of the football, and the Patriots right now with already 109 yards of offense and 5 1st downs.
There we go, right there. Martellus Bennett going to get this down block against Alex Okafor and move him. That wasn't just a get in his way kind of a block. That was a move him out of the way and pick up a 1st down.
From the 39. Blunt, big hole. He exploits it. He gets into Cardinal territory. LeGarrette Blunt to the 48-yard line. Got him from Pittsburgh. 7th year in the league. Played his college ball. Did LeGarrette at Oregon.
One of the problems is you're going to try and run through and make some explosive plays on defense, but it allows this cutback to happen right in behind Kevin Minter. And LeGarrette Blunt, 250 pounds at least, coming in on your secondary, not what you're hoping for.
Fake give. Edelman. Short gain to the 45-yard line. Ty Matthew makes the stop. 6 of 8 is Garoppolo. And of those 6 completions, 4 have gone to Julian Edelman.
With good reason. You know, there was a concern. Remember in training camp this year at practice that one day, he thought he had re-injured the foot and threw his helmet down and stormed off the field. And everybody who's a fan of football glad he's okay.
2nd and 7. Here's Blunt again to the 43-yard line. Really very little running game for the Patriots last year down near the bottom of the league. Lewis got hurt, then Blunt took over. And a lot of it, of course, had to do with that offensive line, as Chris was talking about. Last year, 2/3 of the time, they threw the ball.
Oh, now they're bringing Martellus Bennett out here on the rookie Brandon Williams. This will be interesting right down here.
3rd and 5. Garoppolo looks the other way, and it's a low throw, but a nice catch and a 1st down as James White looks behind him, reaches down, plucks it out of the air, 1st down.
What a great play by James White, not only to make this catch, but then to complete the 360 and go get that 1st down. That is a hard catch, but then he just kept turning and stretches and picks up the 1st down. Great play there by James White.
Got 7 on a 3rd down and 5. This drive began at their own 8-yard line. 2 minutes left in the quarter. Buys a ton of time with the fake, throws, and then a little high and incomplete. That's intended for Malcolm Mitchell. He's a rookie out of Georgia, 4th-round pick, and figures to see some extensive action tonight.
They are very excited about him. He hasn't played since that first preseason game, ended up with an injured elbow, but they are thrilled about his great hands. Just as I'm getting ready to say, what a great receiver. They think he's going to be really special, and you can see the brace there on his elbow, and he lets the first one slip right through.
10th play of the drive. Their scoring drive was 9 plays on their first possession. 2nd and 10. And it's an end around, and here goes Edelman with a lot of room to roam, but they close quickly and stuff him at the 30-yard line. Time Matthew put the heat on that time. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Boy, Josh McDaniels is pulling out all the tricks here so far for Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's the interesting thing, Al, about opening day, isn't it? That nobody really knows what the other team has. Both coaches talked about it. He said, we really don't even know who they're going to start, who they're going to play in certain situations. So adjustments in the opening day game, so important.
3rd down and 3. Josh McDaniels sending in the play and biting his nails, hoping he dials up the right number. As Garoppolo slings it and it's busted up. That is Tyvon Branch, who bats it away, came over as an unrestricted free agent from the Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be 4th and 3.
And this is a big deal. Tyvon Branch is a guy that has the ability to play slot corner, and I know that doesn't sound like much, but he is a safety who can walk down and play that position as well. So they have both safeties that have the ability to play cornerback on the slot, and it shows up early in this one.
47-yard attempt forthcoming. Ryan Allen to hold it, Gostowski to kick it, Joe Cardona to snap it, and the kick is good by plenty. 60 seconds remaining in the quarter. New England 10, Arizona nothing. Thursday Night Football starts this week on CBS and the NFL Network. It's the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills, each team going down to defeat today. So on short rest, off they go on Thursday night. There's Dante Scarnecchia. Has 2 years off, full of fire, 68 years old, and about as good as it gets when it comes to coaching the offensive line.
They're not kicking it out of the end zone.
Ellington from a couple of yards in. Andre Ellington swinging to the outside. And McCourty is there and chases him out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line. So the Cardinals will come out with 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter on Sunday Night Football. David Johnson yet to get on track tonight, but he's probably a good pick in your fantasy league. Final 5 weeks last year after Chris Johnson got hurt, 3rd in rushing yards, led the NFL in yards from scrimmage, and he joins that quartet of pretty good names. One of 5 rookies in NFL history, 8 rushing touchdowns, 4 TD catches. Picked last year in the 3rd round out of Northern Iowa, the alma mater of one Kurt Warner, and he's taken over for Chris Johnson as the #1 back. Chris now backs him up from the 19-yard line. Fake to Johnson, and they swing it out to him. And Johnson showing his stuff here. And to the 45-yard line. So almost on cue, we spotlight him, and it's a gain of 25 yards.
Yeah, the thing the Patriots are going to do tonight is allow David Johnson to have a few of these kinds of plays. They are dropping way out in their zone defense. They were up there in a bare front, probably anticipating an early run to come right back and get it to Johnson. But this is a guy fully capable of running any route that a wide receiver can run. He is a very talented receiver.
Waning seconds of the opening quarter. And Palmer under pressure. They're going to get him at the 42-yard line. Secondary does its job, and that takes us to the end of the quarter. Vincent Valentine, a rookie from Nebraska, gets the sack. It's the end of the first quarter with the score New England 10, Arizona nothing, and Sunday night football continues after these messages.
We got a battle tonight. We're gonna take on nothing like Sunday night football.
Aerial coverage being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, and you're looking at what's about a 2-hour drive north of us, the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon State, as we look at the numbers now for the first quarter. Garoppolo off to a very good start, 106 yards through the air, and the touchdown to Hogan. Now on 2nd down and 13, the Cardinals begin this quarter at the 42-yard line.
A new look in the backfield. David Johnson and Andre Ellington both in the backfield together.
And they send them both out. Check it down underneath. Give it to David Johnson. Rustled down at the midfield stripe by Patrick Chung. We've got a 3rd down and 5 now.
There are defensive coordinators that believe they can frustrate the Arizona Cardinals and Bruce Arians if they, like Matt Patricia, if they simply don't give up the big play, that they're so desperate to get the ball down the field and some of those deep crossing routes and all the things that they love to do. If they're not getting those, it begins to frustrate the play caller.
3 receivers to the right. Fitzgerald starts in, now goes outside. Palmer looks the other way, and the catch is made at the 39-yard line by J.J. Nelson, flagged down. Malcolm Butler covering on the play. Get the penalty here, and you got Nelson hobbling off the field.
Holding, defense number 23. This penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Patrick Chung, that's a gain of 11 for Nelson, and a 1st down at the 39.
Anytime they send these two guys, your backs generally are not going to be able to block Dante Hightower and Jamie Collins. So you have to win the one-on-one routes down the field. That time they did.
Nelson will off holding his arm. That's Gresham in motion. Keep it on the ground. And this is David Johnson for a gain of 1 to the 38-yard line.
It's big Anthony Johnson in there, who is a little bit of a story in and of himself. He is a guy that lost 50 pounds this year, and talking to some of the guys from the Patriots, they were saying, there he is, number 96 right there, saying that people were kept asking, who is that new guy? Who is it? Like, just put 50 pounds on him, you'll recognize him. But he's really added a step of quickness to his game and made a play there.
2nd-year guy, played his college ball at LSU.
One more time.
Big hole. There goes David Johnson to the 31-yard line. 3rd down and short. 3rd and 2 coming.
One of the new additions up front now for the Arizona Cardinals, Evan Mathis, who was a part of that Super Bowl winning team with the Denver Broncos, opening up a big hole there. And David Johnson, one of the more elusive backs, another big guy who made 24 people miss last year in just 107 touches. That is at the top of the leaderboard as far as that stat is concerned.
3rd and 2. Palmer gets enveloped. The flag is down at the 39-yard line. Chris Long came over from the Rams. See if he will get credit for that. He's angry enough that you think the penalty is going to be on him. See what Corrente says.
Looked like Jared Valdir may have gotten his hands to the face of Chris Long.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, offense, number 74. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play creates 4th down.
That's DJ Humphries, and that's why Long was exorcised.
There is no doubt about it. Watch this. Grab and sling Jabal Sheard to the ground. And on the other side, Chris Long got a shot right to his face mask as well from Valdir. You can see that, and still got in there for the sack. Those guys are going to have to deliver, and that's a good start.
Drew Butler already his 3rd punt of the night, and it's a very short one. Fair caught at the 16-yard line by Danny Amendola. Early second quarter, it's been all Patriots to this point, 10-zip.
Can't play much better than Jimmy Garoppolo has to this point. Let's take a look at his throwing motion. It is a quick release. There it is. Sort of looks a little like Tom Brady's release, actually, the more I look at it. Release time, anything in that 0.3 to 0.4 range. Very, very good. He's getting the ball out of his hand. There's been a few times in preseason where I thought maybe he was holding the ball a little bit too long, allowing the pressure to get there, but not tonight. Playing an excellent first half.
This drive begins at the 16. Their two drives thus far, touchdown and field goal. And we get a false start here.
False start, offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
One of the two tight ends, A.J. Derby, who's active tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo, the man in waiting. But Tom Brady says he'd like to play till he's like 106.
Probably will.
So he may wait for a while. And of course, if he's playing well over the first 4 games of the season, you know what'll happen in New England, right?
Of course. But I asked Jimmy, I said, you know, it's possible these 4 games are going to be your audition tape. You know, this may be the only 4 you get a chance to play. And he says, I realize that. I know exactly what's going on. But he was so anxious to get out there and start playing.
To the outside, that is caught. Another catch for Edelman, knocking down the net. Julian off to a big start tonight. 5 catches for 51 yards. You look at Garoppolo, grew up in suburban Chicago. He has 3 brothers. He's the third of 4. Father is an electrician. Mother works for Meals on Wheels. Got very few offers coming out of high school. He was a linebacker in high school until his junior year, and wind up matriculating at Eastern Illinois. Play fake and look out, and he gets whacked as he gets it away. And it's, yeah, they called it incomplete. There's Correnti. Tony Jefferson
Forward pass,
came in.
Incomplete
pass, third down.
Just an absolute free runner, and you know blitzes are going to come off of this team. Tony Jefferson's going to come right around, and by the time he finishes the play fake, very lucky to get that ball out of there. Let's make sure the ball was, it does look like he maintained that grip, because if that ball had gotten loose when he was taking it up, it might have been a fumble. I think that was the right call.
Arm coming forward, third down and 5. Patriots already with 7 first downs in the game. 4-man rush and a quick throw to the outside, and Chris Hogan, who scored the touchdown earlier, to the 40-yard line. I think I was reading a piece in the New York Post by Steve Serby with you recently, and he asked you who reminds you of you, and you said Hogan.
Well, I have a short memory. I just watched the tape on him. So here he comes out there, and they have a little pick play. They're running inside, but it actually happened after the ball was delivered, and Chris Hogan caught the ball, so no foul there. And Hogan's having a major impact here early, leaving Buffalo, and he's sort of been the consistent factor so far with this receiving core the entire camp.
Garoppolo, 9 of his first 14, already 135 passing yards. Tries to add to that and throws it behind the intended receiver, the rookie Malcolm Mitchell. 2nd down and 10, covered by the rookie Brandon Williams.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh McDaniels, and he told the rookie Malcolm Mitchell, he goes, listen, you're playing against a rookie and Brandon Williams, just pretend you're like at the Senior Bowl. Don't let it bother you. And they felt very confident about the matchup. Of course, Mitchell doesn't have much playing time, and neither does Brandon Williams, so we'll see. That changes now, though. Julian Edelman walks out there on Williams this time. And nobody's going to throw it at Patrick Peterson if they don't have to.
Bennett sets up inside, stays in the block for Blunt. He gets it up to the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 8.
Well, Chandler Jones, of course, former Patriot, out there against Martellus Bennett, and this has been a good fight. Chandler Jones takes great pride in his ability to play that run, but he's getting paid now to get sacks for a team that didn't get many last year without Dwight Freeney.
Meanwhile, New England had a ton of them, 12.5 by Jones. 3rd and 8. Four-man pressure, and that's enough, and the ball is loose and on the ground, and the Arizona Cardinals come away with it. Chandler Jones, and what a moment for him. Marcus Golden created it. Ball came loose, and Chandler Jones traded to Arizona. You got a flag down at the end of the play, probably for excessive celebration. Turnover will stand. Little gift basket on the ground here.
I wondered how much.
After the conclusion of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against Arizona, two players in a choreographed demonstration. 15-yard penalty, it will be a first down.
There's Marcus Golden coming around the edge, going to win the battle here. Chandler Jones at the top. But what a huge mistake. You get a turnover, you get the ball at midfield. And so there is Swearinger and Chandler Jones with a little choreographed dance, and it cost them. That's the right call by the officials.
Moves the ball now back to the 46 instead of having it in Patriot territory. And they start on the ground. Johnson to the outside and then cuts it back. Gets across the 50 into Patriot territory. Gain there of about 5. And it'll be second down and 5.
Good quick moves there, but Malcolm Brown and this defensive line inside, they are more than holding their own. This is a good running game. There's the brain trust on the other sideline talking about that, but Malcolm Brown, Vincent Valentine came up with the sack earlier, Alan Branch, Anthony Johnson, they've all been doing a nice job inside shutting down this run.
Palmer surveys, fires, first down, caught, taken to the 36. Michael Floyd making the catch.
One of the reasons it's so hard to run against New England is even when they're dropping these guys out, that they're so close to the line of scrimmage that it's really hard to get your running game going. Those are big, powerful guys inside.
Here's Johnson bouncing off bodies, takes it to the 30-yard line. Tackled there by Jamie Collins. So David Johnson, second year back, and they love him.
Yeah, at the end of the year, he really took over 100 yards from scrimmage in 4 of the last 5 games. We saw him make a run against the Philadelphia Eagles last year, and Bruce Arians was joking, said, yeah, we successfully blocked nobody on that play, and he ended up scoring on it. So he has got to be the guy when this offense is unsettled, and it's been unsettled for almost the entire preseason. I think he'll become more and more the focal point.
Already 58 yards from scrimmage. Can he add to that total here? Yes, he can. He picks up the first down as he takes it to the 27, and we check in with Michelle.
Well, Al, David Johnson got married last April. He and his wife are expecting a baby boy in January, but the first addition to their family was their dog, Emmett. Yes, he's named for Emmitt Smith, and Johnson told me when he was in 2nd grade, he watched YouTube highlights of Smith, and he used to draw the star with the number 22 in art class. So Johnson said it was Smith who inspired him to think he could be a running back, Al.
Well, David Johnson, very interesting story. Mentioned Northern Iowa. He's a triplet. He has 2 sisters. And the handoff again to Johnson for a very minimal gain.
The one thing about watching the Arizona Cardinals running game is if you can shut down their inside runs, what they do so well is be able to pound you inside in those inside gaps and then work to the edge on the outside. So you're seeing New England now be pretty cautious on the edge and try and force them back inside. And when you try and run against those 2 hammer linebackers inside, Hightower and Collins, makes for a long night.
Now you've got Johnson in the backfield, and that's Chris Johnson, who was number 1 last year. He stays in the block, and the catch is made by Larry Fitzgerald. He'll have a Hall of Fame induction speech someday. Maybe the most popular of all of the Arizona Cardinals. Larry is in his 13th year. There's some talk about maybe this is the end for him. I don't know. I mean, he loves playing, but he's just been spectacular throughout his career. And of course, had that tremendous 61-yard catch and run, and then the shovel pass touchdown against Green Bay in that classic game in the playoffs. 3rd and 1. And getting the first down here, taking it through the middle, goes Chris Johnson, who had that 2,000-yard season when he was a Tennessee Titan back in 09. First down.
Boy, one guy that really is making the difference up there is Evan Mathis, playing that right guard position. Watch him come down and then get to the next level. And Chris Johnson, even though he's not that big of a guy, is the guy that they think has the best feel for goal line and short yardage situations, delivers there.
Meanwhile, that is Mathis, who's shaken up on the play. Injury timeout. Evan Mathis has been around. Chris mentioned that last year he was with Denver, and here's how he got shaken up.
Well, we'll see. The pile sort of ends up landing on that left ankle of his. He played with such a horrific hamstring injury last year. I saw him at one point in the season in Denver. His entire leg from top to bottom was black and blue.
Earl Watford spells him up front. Catch is made inside the 10, close to a first down. Jermaine Gresham. Shea McClellan, who came over as a free agent from Chicago, makes the stop.
Yep.
2nd and 1.
Carson Palmer's making the nice adjustment now that he's seeing a lot more of this zone coverage. Than they're mixing things up, obviously. But now you start to think back inside, big tight ends, running backs. Try to get them out of that so you can get the deep shots down the field.
Palmer, the 14-year veteran, so many seasons in Cincinnati, then to Oakland. Now here on 2nd and 1, gives it to David Johnson. And he does not get enough for the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and inches with 5.5 to go in the half.
Yeah, and Big Alan Branch that time took advantage of the fact that there's a substitute in for Evan Mathis and just dominated inside. And you see him right there. He's just going to plug that up. That's a pretty big gap right there. He gets his arms extended and makes the play.
Third and inches. And getting those inches and a couple of yards more. David Johnson through the middle. 1st and goal. And there goes Mathis, the oldest offensive lineman in the league. Will be 35 in November, and he's on the cart going back to the locker room.
And I tell you what may be the biggest difference with that is that he's the communicator for DJ Humphries, number 74, who is in his 2nd year, but his first game ever as a starter for the Arizona Cardinals.
11th play of the drive. They've run it 7 times, thrown it 3. Come up in the pistol. And to the outside, Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, touchdown Cardinals.
Great read by Carson Palmer. You see the motion all the way across. Logan Ryan's going to go with him, knows it's man coverage. So Michael Floyd really doesn't have to do much of anything. So many young receivers in that situation will try to go up and bang into the defensive back and get the penalty called. Michael Floyd, very smart that time, just went in there, then avoided the contact, forced him out around the back for the touchdown.
A familiar sight in Arizona. That's Larry Fitzgerald's 99th career touchdown. Chandler Catanzaro tacks on the extra point. They capitalize to the Cardinals on that fumble and fumble recovery. March down the field to make it a 3-point game. 10-7 pass. All right, it all led to this. The chase gets underway at Chicagoland next Sunday at 2 Eastern on NBC SN. NASCAR coming your way. Late afternoon, early evening here in Arizona. Robert and Jonathan Kraft making the trip out here to watch their squad on opening night. They go home for their next 3 games, and then they get Brady back against Cleveland. Bouncing ball. This is Cyrus Jones. The rookie taking it back out to the 26-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the half, and New England on top 10-7. So the story that won't die is almost dead.
Thank goodness.
Deflategate. Another month when Brady comes back. Remember, Tom was suspended last year. Then Judge Berman overruled the decision, and Brady was able to play. Then this year during the offseason, Tom could have taken it to the Supreme Court, chose not to, but the Patriots did know going into camp this year and all the way through that Brady, who's watching on television tonight, hello, Tom, would not be playing for the first 4 games.
They've played 2 Super Bowls since this started.
Amazing.
Nobody can possibly say anything other than it was bad for the NFL.
Very bad and very boring. And this is LeGarrette. This is James White carrying out to the Bolden out to the 31. We'll get it down.
Yeah. We got all fired up with Brady and everything.
Exactly.
There. But you know, it made for a very strange training camp this year as well, because they had to get Tom Brady ready. Obviously, he's going to be the starter when he comes back in week 5, but you had to get Jimmy Garoppolo ready because he's going to be the starter for opening day.
Right.
And you had to get Jacoby Brissett ready, who's a rookie, because he could be in the game on any play.
On 2nd and 6, Bolden gets whacked in the backfield. And we check in with Michelle.
Well, Al, I confirmed Tom Brady's suspension restrictions with the NFL. He can't appear at the club facility for any reason. He is not to have contact with any club personnel except to arrange off-site medical treatment or rehab. He can't engage in any team football-related activities or conversations with teammates, even away from the facility, though there can be casual contact with teammates, but no football-related conversations, Al.
He can do this. Gisele Bunch and his wife receiving a pass from Tom, which he posted yesterday on Instagram.
If that were live, it'd have a major impact on ratings for us.
Oh, yeah. James White stuffed in the backfield. It's 4th down. One thing he can do, though, is go to the driving range.
I would imagine he would, yes. But this is, you know, at the end of the day, Al, don't you really think it had a lot to do with the powers of the commissioner?
Absolutely.
And the ability to decide punishment. And it got dragged into other places, but that at the crux of the entire thing was who gets final say over punishment of the players in the league. And the CBA says that the commissioner does.
Judge, jury, arbitrator. And that was the essence of it, the core of it. Will it change? Maybe someday. 2-minute warning. Prior to the punt, Arizona's going to get the ball back as we near the end of the first half, and a 3-point game in Arizona. So at a halftime coming up, we get the Packers next week in Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers, 3 TDs. They had all they could handle in Jacksonville. Jack Del Rio, he played to win the game, and he did. Went for the 2-point conversion to beat New Orleans. Bob Costas looking ahead to the Jets and the Bills on Thursday night. And here, Arizona will get the ball after a Ryan Allen short punt fielded by Patrick Peterson, avoids the first man and steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Subway Restaurants. By Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, in theaters everywhere October the 21st. By GE, the industrial company. It's also a digital company. And by the redesigned 2016 Volkswagen Passat, where family happens. Musical Instrument Museum here in Phoenix, over 16,000 instruments on display. From the 38-yard line, Palmer with David Johnson in the backfield. Johnson stays in the block, airs it out deep, but too deep. Good coverage there anyway on Brown. McCourty covering him on the play. John Brown, 2nd down and 10.
Yep, they want to take those shots, and John Brown's one of the fastest guys in the league. And occasionally you actually do have to just do that, you know, because you've got to back up those defensive backs and make them think we have the ability to throw it over your head. And there's a guy, Tom Moore, that's thrown a whole bunch over people's heads in his career with Peyton Manning and others. Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah. He's on Arian's staff here. Tom in his late 70s, spry as ever, and the pass is incomplete. Michael Floyd was in the area, the intended receiver. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
where they are trying to get some of these crossing routes going across the middle of the field, and Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower are wearing out guys as they're trying to cross. So sometimes when your receiver's been knocked around, you have no choice but to throw it down the field.
The numbers from the last year, of course, overall they were #1 in the league offensively, over 400 yards per contest. 3rd and 10. And Palmer deep downfield again, and this time it is incomplete. It is John Brown who was there, but right with him was Justin Coleman, second-year corner out of Tennessee.
Justin Coleman is your 3rd cornerback right here, and this is a big-time play because this looked like John Brown had the ball just a little behind. Coleman able to get it out of there. He was kind of an interesting case study. He was on the Patriots, and they cut him, I think, to put on the practice squad. Seattle picked him up, and New England said not so fast and brought him back and put him on the active roster.
Butler's 4th punt. Jones, the rookie, to the 31-yard line. So you've got 1:24 and all of their timeouts. 10-7 New England. Bill Belichick, since 2000, 187 regular season wins, 13 division titles, including 7 in a row, 4 Super Bowl wins, twice as many as any other team, 2 Super Bowl losses. One of the wins and one of the losses right here in this stadium. This is the first time that the Patriots have played a game apart from the Super Bowl in this stadium, and Bob Kraft, with the agony and the ecstasy, watched the perfect season go down the drain thanks to David Tyree mainly in 07, and then the Malcolm Butler interception against Seattle to win the game 2 years ago. Start from the 31-yard line, and on the ground this is LeGarrette Blount for a gain of 1.
Al, let's go back to that last drive by Arizona. A very poor possession, because now they have essentially set up the New England Patriots to do what the New England Patriots do better than anybody. At least they did under Tom Brady, which is score right before the end of the half and then turn around, get the ball back and go down and score again, and all of a sudden the game's over. So 3 straight incompletions, and now the ball back in the hands of the Patriots.
And all they did was take 26 seconds off the clock. Down to 45 seconds now. Keep it on the ground again, and Blount pulls his way with a flag down now out to the 40-yard line. Tony Correnti readying the call for us.
Peterson's laughing. He's like, you try and tackle LeGarrette Blount.
Tripping. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty, and repeat, 2nd down.
That's David Andrews.
Right there to center, David Andrews. That would be tripping. That's what you used to do to your little brother right there.
2 minutes for tripping. Well, that's the other sport. Another flag here up to the 32-yard line. That's Blount again. It took 6 ticks off the clock. 33 seconds now. Arians wants to move him back again.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty, and repeat, 2nd down.
And that is Shaq Mason.
It's impressive Shaq Mason can hold. He's got that cast on his hand, and they didn't know if he'd be able to play. You can see the cast right down there. And there's a little bit of a grab around the neck. And now I think if you're the Arizona Cardinals, there you go. Look at what he's been dealing with. Just 33 seconds left, but you don't want him to just milk this thing off the clock. Do you think about a few timeouts?
Absolutely. A 2nd and 27, and I'd call a timeout right here from Arizona. It's going to be 3rd down up at the 18-yard line.
There it is.
And they'll take a timeout here because it's going to be 3rd and a mile, and at least it gives them an opportunity on the other side here to try to get a field goal. Well, with NFL Game Pass, you can replay every game this season, including the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Start a free trial at NFL.com/Game Pass today or tonight.
Whenever. It was a fun day today, wasn't it?
It's never too late.
It's never too late, that's for sure.
Right.
Wasn't it a fun day watching football games again throughout, and so many huge come-from-behind games, and it's just the NFL. It's always going to come down to that last couple of plays.
Amazing. And watching New Orleans and Oakland and San Diego squanders a 21-point lead to Kansas City. Green Bay, Jacksonville was in doubt until the end. Giants, Cowboys went down to the end. Seattle and Miami went down to the end. With her this one, 3rd and 23. And this is Blunt. They'll take another timeout here with 23 seconds. So Arizona will have one last chance.
Tyrann Mathieu coming back from that knee injury we told you about earlier, but he is clearly the heart and the energy of this football team. And for a guy that really has, even I think he was wondering if he could have gotten ready for opening day, but he's been flying around the football field. The New England Patriots as a staff, they just admire everything he does, the way he covers, the way he hustles, the way he seems to anticipate plays. So many good things.
Ryan Allen into punt. Now Patrick Peterson, explosive, standing back at the 30-yard line. If Ryan indeed gives him an opportunity, he punts it off into the out-of-bounds area. No, he's going to let. Well, Patrick is going to make the catch near the sideline. Fair catch, 33 seconds. Yeah, the last time we were in this ballpark, we saw a double Hail Mary. Aaron Rodgers pulled that one off. And that game went to overtime, and then the Cardinals won it on the first possession.
You and I quit announcing that game and just turned into fans.
That was just fantastic.
Yelling and screaming and throwing things around. It was
I got to tell you, though, I ran into Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. I came up behind him to surprise him. He looks at me and he goes, first thing he says is, you think we should have gone for 2?
Yeah.
Easy to think about that right now.
I bet you that conversation was had by many.
Yep. From the 32-yard line on first down.
One timeout left.
Palmer, look out, and he's going to go down with Jamie Collins and Hightower there, and they're a little shaken up, and Long is there as well. Chris Long.
Yeah, Chandler or Jamie Collins run into each other, and both of them shaking a bit.
And that will end the half with the score 10-7 New England. Coming up next to the halftime after these messages from your local NBC station.
Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, stop clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen.
Down the sideline, getting open is Chris Hogan for the touchdown.
And the Patriots draw first blood.
The ball is loose and on the ground, and the Arizona Cardinals come away with it. Chandler Jones, and to the outside, Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, touchdown Cardinals.
Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
And there's your halftime score. 10-7 New England. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Sunday Night Football. Jimmy Garoppolo off to a good start tonight. 2 scoring drives on the first 2 drives. Carson Palmer. The numbers are almost totally equal. Both 10 of 16. Hogan with the touchdown for New England. Larry Fitzgerald with career TD number 99 for Arizona. So New England gets the ball to start the third quarter. We'll take a knee and we check in with Michelle.
Well, Al, I asked Bill Belichick for his assessment of Jimmy Garoppolo in the first half. He said, fine, and he wants him to just keep doing what he's been doing. As for Carson Palmer, he was sacked 3 times in the first half. Bruce Arians told me they don't need to make adjustments at the offensive line. They just need to play better. Evan Mathis, their guard, who left with a left foot injury in the first half, will be back. But wide receiver J.J. Nelson remains questionable with a shoulder injury, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Chris, that's perfect from Belichick, right? How did Garoppolo do? Fine.
Sums it up.
Perfect. From the 25-yard line, New England starts the second half with play action and then a tip ball. And that is Garoppolo himself coming up with it.
Just pad that completion percentage any way you can.
Sure. Was it Campbell?
Looked like Calais Campbell. No surprise there. About 6'7", comes back, and Garoppolo, who's pretty quick, moving with the ball, picks up 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Wasn't that how Brett Favre completed his first pass of his career?
It was.
Favre to Favre.
20's the mic, 20, over back.
2nd and 7. Out of the eye. Leverage here, and Blunt picks up a yard and a half before Peters makes the stop. 3rd and about 6.
Well, here we go. You want a little comparison between these two quarterbacks. Tom Brady, check out this release time, about 0.37. Not bad for a guy who's 6'4", and Jimmy Garoppolo a little less tall and a little quicker, but the motion is just pretty similar, isn't it? They both tuck that left arm in, and it's a philosophy taught a lot right now by quarterback coaches.
Empty the backfield on 3rd and 6 as the Pats go 5 wide. And Garoppolo's going to step up, and he's mobile, and he shows his mobility right here. 1st down, gets it out to the 40-yard line. On a 3rd and 6, he moves to the sticks.
And this really hurts because you're sitting there in a zone defense, and you're thinking all we have to do is let him just throw a check down here, go make the tackle, and we have the football. But this is a different factor. We haven't seen a lot of the bootleg action. We haven't seen a lot of people thought that when Garoppolo came in, there'd be a lot more movement out of the pocket. So far, he's been winning the game from inside the pocket.
Diamond, yeah, 51's Mike.
Devlin is the fullback, and Blunt is the tailback. Short drop to the outside. Ooh, catch is made by Edelman, and Peterson says, "How do you do?" It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, James Betcher, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, really making some adjustments here. Julian Edelman, if you remember early in this game, was seeing all this blitz and man coverage, and he was just winning every single battle. And so Betcher really had no choice. He had to start playing some zone, and it may play well in this game because sometimes Jimmy Garoppolo can hold the ball just a bit and give these pass rushers a chance to go get him.
12 completions for Garoppolo, 6 of them to Edelman. And now Blunt will pick up the 1st down and a whole lot more before he's chased out of bounds by Deion Buchanan. 1st down. Good start to the opening drive of the 2nd half, much as it was in the 1st half as they scored in their 1st drive.
And Julian Edelman, they're paying so much attention to him there that the linebacker that was out covering him or out on him trying to protect the edge went down in man coverage with him, and LeGarrette Blount able to bounce it out.
Blunt. Nothing doing there. Well, Garoppolo, Eastern Illinois, so he stayed in state. You go back to Sean Payton, the class of '87. Sean wound up playing in the NFL as a replacement player during that strike of '87. Tony Romo, of course, went there. And Garoppolo and Mike Shanahan, that is his alma mater as well.
He said you wouldn't have believed how simple our offensive approach. Didn't even call plays in the huddle for his last 2 years there. He had a big learning curve coming into New England.
2nd and 11. Go to the outside. Is caught. That is Martellus Bennett diving to make the catch. You imagine growing up in that household, you had Martellus and Michael Bennett as brothers, about a year apart. Two very intelligent, very unusual guys.
Said moving to New York to play for the Giants changed his life. He said, I was in Dallas, and in Texas you can be a horse, but in New York you can be a unicorn. And believe me, after our conversation, he's a unicorn. And
he says, I'm the artsy craftsy guy. Loves animation. Loved playing in New York. He could go to all the museums. 3rd and 7. Garoppolo throws, and that is caught and gets spinning away is Malcolm Mitchell to the inside. Sets up a 1st down and goal. The rookie out of Georgia making the grab, and it's 1st down and goal now at the 8-yard line.
You bring the blitz, which is exactly what they do. We talked about it earlier. Means one-on-one coverage, and you've got a cornerback that is going to be under siege until he proves he can make plays out there. Brandon Williams now giving up his 2nd big play because of this missed tackle. one thing to give up the catch, but you can't let that run out.
Gain of 28, and then Blunt keeps those legs churning and takes all of the Cardinals into the end zone with him. Touchdown, Patriots. He was not going to be stopped. 75 yards, 9 plays, and an even 5 minutes to open the second half.
Arizona Cardinals simply were not ready for that play. Watch them running around here, and Dayon Buchanan not even looking when that ball snapped, and they just run right through the middle with one of the biggest backs in the league. I tell you, LeGarrette Blount is a powerful guy, and in the second half of football games, he wears defenses out.
6 feet, 250.
What a run.
Yep. Marshawn Lynch type of run that stills the crowd as Gostowski tries to make it a 17-7 advantage. Which he does. 10 minutes remaining, third quarter. Patriots an underdog in this one, but up by 10 in Glendale, Arizona. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Southwest. We remember. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by Toyota, let's go places. Friday night, nearby Gilbert, Arizona, Higley Knights hosted Saguaro High School. Saguaro, top-ranked team in Arizona. Alma mater of Patriots running back DJ Foster made the team as a free agent, but inactive tonight. And the Patriots have no qualms kicking it into the end zone. 25-yard line to start here. Well, if you've got a 5-time Pro Bowler on one side and a rookie on the other side, that figures.
They just have problems at the cornerback position. You know, they're able to do some things with their safeties to try and counterbalance it. But a guy like Brandon Williams really should not be the answer at this point in the season. They hope Justin Bethel, who's their special team star, has been to 3 straight Pro Bowls, is going to be able to do it. But he's got a foot issue, and they just traded for Marcus Cooper on the other side. But they are very thin at the cornerback spot.
And the Patriots are exploiting it and up by 10 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Blitz coming. Palmer gets it away to the tight end Gresham for a short gain, pick up of 4 yards. Patrick Chung is there. Second down and 6.
But you really have to say, despite the fact that we know how good the New England Patriots are, the Arizona Cardinals are at home. High expectations. We talked about all the speed and all that Bill Belichick and company have done here tonight is keep everything in front of them, and it has frustrated this offense.
And on the other side, no Brady, no Gronkowski, but for the moment, no problem. As out to the 35-yard line goes David Johnson.
There we go. Jamie Collins right there. Looked like this thing might pop out of there, and then Jamie Collins flying over the top to be able to get it. That's Jabal Sheard who got there first, though.
We saw 69, Evan Mathis shaken up in the first half, but he's back in at right guard. 3rd and 1. Sneak it.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
He took a big hit on that second effort.
Just barely.
Oh,
Tony
man.
correctly signals first down, but a price is paid there.
It sure was. Let's see, this is McCourty. Yep, right underneath the face mask, and Carson Palmer already has a bit of a bruise or an abrasion or something on that face of his. And what did he tell us? 160 something plays on that card that he's reading off right there, and that's down. Some days they have over 200.
Team of one, maybe what, 70 per game?
Yeah, about 20.
Yeah, 20 total plays. He puts it on the ground as Carson Palmer fumbles it and then has to recover it himself. Maybe a little shaken up after that last play.
Might have been. I remember I was in. I won't say here's a little fumble on the tail end. Let's figure out exactly what's going on. Just never quite got there. But Bill Parcells used to be notorious for his assistants would put the game plan up and have 160 or 200 plays or whatever, and he'd take the eraser and it'd wipe out whole bits of the board up there and say, yeah, we're going to play with these 20.
Second and 12, and Palmer is pressured. It's tipped and incomplete. John Brown trying to pluck it out of the air with Malcolm Butler covering on the play. Third and 12. For Malcolm Butler, he will never forget this ballpark.
Yeah, no, he won't. And here they go right here, these two guys. But for Malcolm Butler, it was the tip pass before the interception that he's probably was thinking about there. You remember that one where it bounced straight up in the air, and who was it?
Jermaine Kearse.
Jermaine Kearse, who ends up just, it falls right in his lap. And really, Butler, that may have been his best play, because to get up and make that tackle or the game would have been over at that point.
Third and 12. Palmer fires and it's almost picked off. It's Ryan is there. He had great position on Larry Fitzgerald, and it's fourth down as that drive bogs down before it even gets started.
Well, and what they're doing here is they've got underneath coverage, so Logan Ryan doesn't have to worry about Larry Fitzgerald running over the top because there's two safeties sitting in behind them. So very well done. That was the one guy, Larry Fitzgerald. They said he's not beating this thing.
Fifth punt for Drew Butler. And a fair catch is called for by Cyrus Jones. 7 minutes to go in the third. So today, of course, we honor and remember all those who were lost in the September 11th, 2001 attacks. 9/11 has become the largest annual day of charitable engagement in the U.S. To learn how you can make a difference year-round, visit 911day.com. As you look at Senator John McCain and Michael Bidwell, president of the team. Their team right now is down 17-7, and the catch is made by Malcolm Mitchell. And we go to Michelle.
Well, Al, after a stellar season in 2000, Pat Tillman was offered a 5-year, $9 million contract by the Rams. It was out of loyalty to the Cardinals that he turned it down. And after the events of 9/11, it was his loyalty to country that made him turn down a 3-year, $3.6 million contract with the Cardinals to join the Army Rangers. In 2004, Tillman was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan at the age of 27, and the Cardinals retired his number 40.
Yeah, Michelle, he's left quite a legacy, especially here in the Valley of the Sun, as Blunt loses the ball before the whistle. Parenti is right there with his group. Cardinals obviously think they have it, but nothing yet from the Zebras.
That ball was out right at the contact.
Arizona has
the right call. You'll see here contact. That ball is out at first contact. No question. There was no forward momentum, none of that. That's just a fumble. And for the Arizona Cardinals offense that needs a wake-up call, maybe they just got one.
Second New England turnover. And of course, all turnovers are reviewed, so they're looking at that to try to confirm that. It'll be first down to the 33-yard line.
I think it was Frosty Rucker who got the hit. It was pretty hard to see, though.
At the 33-yard line with 6:20 to go in the quarter. Play action. Look at that time. All night. Caught. 18-yard line. Gresham, the tight end. First down, Arizona. Got outside position on Butler.
Well, one of the things that New England will do on occasion is just rush three. They fake the outside, and Carson Palmer there did the exact right thing. What you do then is you make them pay a price. Hold the ball, hold the ball. Offensive line did their job, and they come up with a big play.
Mike's 91, Mike's 91.
Word comes that Rucker is the man who forced the fumble, and Campbell, Calais Campbell, the man who recovered to set him up from the 18. Again, excellent protection. The throw is incomplete. Johnson looking around saying, I was held by Hightower. No flag. Second down.
Right there, Frosty Rucker, number 92, is going to get that hat right on the ball. And even big LeGarrette Blount couldn't hold on to that one.
Second and 10. 32 in a row. And they've had a turnover advantage. Longest streak in the league. And tonight they have the advantage 2-zip. Look out. Palmer throws. Gets it away over the middle. Caught. First and goal. Larry Fitzgerald. Trey Flowers bursts through. Decks Palmer as he gets it away, but Fitzgerald makes the catch. First and goal.
Backup guard in Earl Watford. And Trey Flowers just going to come flying in. David Johnson should have picked that one up. Did not. But what a throw. What a gutsy throw right there. And a tremendous catch by Larry Fitzgerald. That guy is going to leave some legacy in the catch department. The percentage of balls that he drops is microscopic.
4 catches tonight, 34 yards. From the 4. Handed off to David Johnson. Can he back his way in? They say he's a little bit short. Just shy of the goal line. Second down and goal. Chris Long able to hold him off.
This David Johnson has some moves. Now, I don't care if it's in the open field or in tight quarters. Watch his movement, jumping around these jump cuts, just kept moving, and then the power.
Flag on the play here as Johnson takes it in, but let's see about the call. Was second and goal.
Carson Palmer says on New England.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the defense. This penalty is declined. The result for the play is a touchdown.
Snapped it quickly. Cash in on the Blount fumble, so 7 points off the turnover. It'll be a 3-point game if the extra point is good. Both Arizona touchdowns followed New England turnovers.
Watch all the craziness over here. Jabal Sheard and who is that? I think that was the rookie Vincent Valentine just running into each other, and that was a walk-in.
Yep. Arizona getting up there quickly, snapping it. New England all over the place defensively, and Catanzaro now for the extra point. And it's a 3-point game with 4.5 minutes left in the third. 17-14 New England on opening night of Sunday Night Football. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon this week. You got Shailene Woodley stopping by, Michael B. Jordan. Molly Cyrus will be there, Renee Zellweger. Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show this week on NBC. Dusk in the Valley of the Sun, downtown Phoenix. About a 25-minute drive. Not a lot of traffic. From University of Phoenix Stadium out here in Glendale. As the kick sails through the end zone, and the Patriots will go to work with 4.5 left in the third from their own 25-yard line. Chandler Jones on the left, of course, is his coach last year and throughout his career in the NFL. Bruce Arians, his current coach. The trade was made in the offseason, New England and Arizona. Chandler Jones making a lot of money at 12.5 sacks. Part of it had to be a salary cap situation looking down the line. But much loved by his teammates. You got Michael Bidwell, you've got Steve Keim, the great general manager on the right. As Garoppolo starts this drive, and it is Blount And it was Arians who told us the other day. He said, Keim comes and says, hey, I think we can trade for Chandler Jones. He says, don't be fooling around with stuff like that. Don't be kidding around with that. And he was able to get it done.
Yeah, we did ask Belichick about it, and he said you can't make everybody the highest paid guy in the league, so you have to make some decisions. And a lot of times in New England, we've seen it before, that the guys that end up with 12 to 14 sacks, something like that, they're willing to let those guys walk and figure out that the system may well be getting many of those sacks.
And Jones called Belichick and he said, thank you for not trading me to a crappy team.
And he was so proud because he made Belichick laugh.
It's right. Hard to do. Edelman picks up a first down on a sweep around the right side. First down.
So many times Julian Edelman gets in here tight that you don't think anything of it, and really sets up great opportunities to run some reverses. Once again, Martellus Bennett out in front of there, who's had a nice game. There's Chandler Jones hustling back to make the play.
Ball at the 37, first down. A little over 3 to play in the third. And
where Chandler Jones is now, right out here.
And Garoppolo fires. That's caught. Hogan gets tripped up. Jones, he was so popular, so he gets traded. Now he's coming out to Arizona for the press conference. Lives in upstate New York, has a connection in Detroit, looks at his messages. Tom Brady says, hey, man, get me on FaceTime. And so Brady's in Costa Rica. Jones is sitting in the airport in Detroit, and Tom's got tears in his eyes.
And so Chandler got tears in his eyes, and then he was embarrassed to go get on the airplane because he had to fix himself up. But a lot of respect for that guy. Teammates sent out some really nice messages about him.
And this is Blunt going nowhere. It'll be third down. And there were some of the posts. Great player, great teammate, and a great friend. Gronk sending his best wishes. Hightower. Ninkovich. They could use Ninkovich as well tonight. He's gone for 4 games.
Well, now for Garoppolo, one of those moments. This game is tightening up, and he needs to deliver again.
3rd and 5. Crowd in full throat from the 42, and Garoppolo throws and then is caught, and Bennett starts to skid and then is able to keep his balance and pick up the first down. Covered by Branch. Big first down with 1.5 minutes to go in the period.
Nice job by left tackle Cameron Fleming out here to get the cut block on Chandler Jones, get his hands down, make that throw just a little bit easier. And for Martellus Bennett, he's been doing the work blocking up front. Now he converts a big third down.
From the 47 now. Blunt cracked up after a gain of 1 yard.
Calais Campbell's one of those guys, Al, that he never puts up huge sack numbers. It's always very solid. And here he is right there. Just watch him play the run inside. 6'7", under control, sheds the blockers, comes out and makes the play. He is one of everybody's favorites. Does so many great things in the community. Miami University in Florida made a huge donation. Tremendous asset to the National Football League.
Second round choice in 08. Final half minute of the quarter. 2nd and 9. Pass is caught, and Edelman can't break free. Comes up about 3 yards shy of the first down. Minter is there. And on what might be the final play of the quarter.
I think if Julian Edelman didn't play football, he'd be an MMA fighter. He is one tough son of a gun.
Played quarterback, high school, Kent State, went to Kent State. Of course, he has become a major star. End at 3, 17-14, and Sunday Night Football back after these messages. A look at downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Sunday Night Football, Week 1. Well, quarterbacks playing well tonight. Garoppolo, 75% completion, almost 200 yards. Palmer, 170 yards through the air. Start the fourth with the 3rd and 3 at the Arizona 47. James White in the backfield with Garoppolo. Garoppolo flings it behind the intended receiver, Chris Hogan, but a flag is thrown.
Roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 51 with contact at the knee area, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Kevin Minter with the penalty.
Oh, you know you can't hit him in the head. Here they're going to come right through here. But you can't hit them down there either. You can't initiate contact, so there's like a strike zone, right? In baseball, you got the strike zone, and it's about the same thing on quarterbacks. So many times guys, you know, they'll turn around and go, I stumbled, I slipped, and it just doesn't matter. They're going to protect the quarterbacks in this league, and Bruce Arians cannot believe it.
Yeah, he thought it was a stumble. I'm sure Minter thinks that as well. He started to go down, but hit him below the strike zone. First down after the penalty. And now Blunt stopped at the 30. We go to Michelle.
Well, Cardinals defensive tackle Frosty Rucker went back to the x-ray room. He's officially questionable with a left knee injury. The team orthopedist was looking at the stability of that left knee, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. He was the man who created the fumble before that led to a touchdown. Rodney Gunter, 95, takes his spot.
On the left side, Cameron Fleming cannot block Calais Campbell. I think they're trying to intentionally run away from him, but that's not working either. Campbell's coming down the line of scrimmage and making all those plays.
2nd and 9. Quick toss to Bennett. Slip move, and then Bennett takes it to the 25. 3rd down and 4 next. Williams makes the stop.
Cameron Fleming may not be able to handle Calais Campbell, but some of his cut blocks have been big on these pass plays. Took Chandler Jones down one more time, coming out right there. Got those hands down, made for an easy completion to set up a 3rd and short. Medium. Short medium.
Medium rare. From the 25. White comes into the backfield. Play clock at 5. Just to get it off. And Garoppolo throws, and a flag is thrown as Tyvon Branch and Danny Amendola got tied up. And there's also one at the line of scrimmage. You have 2 fouls on the play. In fact, there are 2 flags at the line of scrimmage and 1 flag, or 2 flags now at the goal line.
Hope nobody has to blow their nose anytime
soon.
There are fouls against both teams that will offset and replay the down. Holding, offense number 61. Pass interference, defense number 27. By rule, these penalties will offset and replay 3rd down.
Show you the pass interference first on Tyvon Branch.
This one's a no-brainer. Ball's coming down, and he initiates contact. Here's the next one. Even with the chip out here, there really was no reason for this, but once Garoppolo started to scramble, you can see the hand inside the shoulder pads, and an obvious call.
So back we go to a 3rd and 4.
The mobility of Garoppolo coming into play just a little bit more now.
And with the crowd roaring, Garoppolo throws against the grain and caught. Flag is down, though. It's Edelman. He's in. He'll win that battle, but you got a hold coming up here against New England.
Holding, offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty and replay, 3rd down.
That is Martellus Bennett.
Going against Chandler Jones. There you go.
Wow. So now you're back to the 35.
I don't know about that one. That looked like one of those power moves, but not a hold. So many times when a guy gets thrown to the ground, the basic instinct is that was a hold, and I didn't think that was.
They're still within Gostkowski's field goal range here if they don't get a yard on 3rd and 14. And Garoppolo surveying and spinning against the grain and firing downfield and out of bounds. So now it'll be 4th down, and do you send in your place kicker? And they will. Gostkowski to attempt what will be about a 52 or 53 yard field goal.
Let's go back to that hole because it's now substantial. See if he grabs him and throws him or just sort of does a power wrestling move to the back of the. You're allowed to do that. And then he finished it beautifully. I think that's just a great block.
Gostkowski career long is 57. This will be 53 indoors. Ryan Allen to put it down, and the kick is good.
What a weapon he is.
Yeah. For years, I mean, you had Vinatieri for 10 years, and then Gostkowski for 10 years. That's in the jackpot. 12:35 left in the 4th. It's 20-14 Patriots. This Saturday coming up in prime time from South Bend, Fighting Irish taking on Michigan State. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time here on NBC. There's another Golden Domer, Mr. Michael Floyd. His squad taking the measure of Nevada handily yesterday. Short kick fielded at the 5-yard line. Andre Ellington will bring it back out to the 22-yard line. So 12 and a half left. Another close one. All games close today in the NFL.
New England Patriots, one of the best tackling teams in football, but they've had their problems tonight with David Johnson. Just watch how elusive he is. Last season in just 107 touches, 24 missed tackles, and I think that the New England Patriots are a believer. He has shown the quickness, the elusiveness, but also the power tonight to come up with a touchdown. Some player. And I'll tell you, his receiving may still be a factor before this one's over.
His team down by 6. 12 and a half to go. Palmer protected. Johnson making the catch. And he cannot get out of the grasp as a quartet of Patriots led by Devin McCourty stop him after a gain of about 4.
It was a big shot at the end of that one, but you can see the strategy. I mean, all night long now, Matt Patricia has just been willing to drop back in those zone defenses, and if Carson Palmer wants to take this, no problem. And then our guys are going to come up with some big shots. That's exactly what happened there.
Hey, zone. Go.
2nd and 5 from the 26.
But they stay hugging that line of scrimmage, don't they?
Look out. Blitz came. He gets it away, and it's caught by Andre Ellington for a 1st down. At the corner, blitz coming right at Palmer, and he's able to get it away.
So you're going to send the blitz here, but that means that Jamie Collins has got to get out from the middle of the field to go get into that coverage, and just not able to get there before the 1st down's picked up. Now they're starting to work Ellington in there as a receiver just a bit too. So it's maybe you come up and you can cover David Johnson, but if you start playing both of them in the backfield, now David Johnson is going to split out as a wide receiver, and they leave Ellington in the backfield. This is going to be a tough matchup out here.
Justin Coleman guarding him. Palmer looks the other way, fires into traffic, and it's incomplete. And Floyd looks for the flag and gets one. Penalty flag at midfield. Malcolm Butler says, what? Come on.
Holding defense number 21. A 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
So they didn't call the pass interference. They called the hold, which happens earlier. Big physical wide receiver, tough guy playing corner. Probably that little grab of the arm right there is what they saw, or that. But that would have been pass interference and farther down the field.
So after the penalty on Butler, David Johnson is the back here. First down at the 43. And Johnson stepping to the outside, still on his feet, breaks away. First down the sideline he goes. Can it be caught from behind? Yes, at the 11-yard line by Devin McCourty. What a run. Stop, spins, breaks away, all the way to the 11.
Maybe not as good as the one we saw in Philadelphia, but that's pretty special right there. Absolutely incredible. And then the speed to break away, and I can't believe he held on to this ball right here. He had no idea that Devin McCourty was behind him. Watch his stiff arm. Some player, just some player. And boy, those jump steps, looks like a long jumper. Looks like Bob Beeman jumping across the screen.
In Mexico City, 46 yards. And a timeout is taken. Well, we talked before, you have Mr. David Johnson in your fantasy league. You made a nice pick.
You know, he was the fantasy darling. Everybody wants to talk about, okay, who's the up-and-coming guy? But with what he did over the last, from about Thanksgiving on, I remember Bruce Arians was saying that. He said young players, rookie players, usually around Thanksgiving, they start waking up. And that was when Chris Johnson got hurt and gave him that opportunity. Watch this thing. Somebody on the inside. That was Vincent Valentine, number 99, the rookie. Just had him dead to rights. And watch this. I mean, everybody fumbles that ball. When they don't see the guy coming from behind, here's Larry Fitzgerald, such a key blocker in so many situations. But that was really all David Johnson. Look at that stiff arm.
Johnson with 128 scrimmage yards tonight. First and 10 at the 12.
Now they go empty, and here's Johnson down here.
Chung's on him. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Tried to thread it in to Floyd, and Butler is able to break it up. 2nd and 10.
I might choose somebody other than Malcolm Butler to throw one at down here on the goal line in Arizona. This is just tremendous coverage on the outside here. The little post route, and he's going to go back door on it and almost had it.
Of course, he did it in the other end zone.
Yeah, he did. You don't have to worry about me remembering that one.
Right.
I have plenty of brain damage, but I remember that one.
2nd and 10 at the 12. Palmer to the corner, and it is Floyd who can't hold on to it. And again, they worked on Butler. 3rd down.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird throw here. I thought it was going to be either a lob over the top or a back shoulder, but it was a line drive shot. And it kind of got right through there. He got just enough of it, didn't he?
So it's a 3rd down and 10 at the 12.
Once again, David Johnson flanked out to the right. His own defense coming.
Palmer to the outside, that's caught, and that will be a first down. Michael Floyd. It was 3rd and 10. They'll spot it inside the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
It's so hard for the guy on the outside who's playing in the zone to understand just how wide you have to get. And for Carson Palmer, a gutsy throw out on the sideline, but that was big.
Palmer 16 and 27 now, 197 yards. After Floyd makes his 3rd catch. Floyd comes in motion. And it's a fade, and it is caught by Fitzgerald. Another amazing catch. The 100th touchdown of that spectacular career.
I hope he never retires. The inside receiver, so it gives you extra room to run this fade route. Watch all the hand fighting going on. He's got his head looking straight up into the stars. Does he control it? Yes, he does. Shoulder down. One knee or one shoulder equals 2 feet, right? There was a famous book written like that.
By John Madden.
There you go.
Larry, what a career for this guy.
He's a joy to be around, isn't he?
He's great. Great company. Now for the lead, Catanzaro for the 33-yard extra point. And flags
you
are down.
Can jump over, but if you make contact, it is a foul on you. If you clear that, it is not a foul.
So they get together, 2 flags. Collins trying to jump over it.
So once he made contact, now you could opt to go for 2, but you probably won't.
No, not
in
here.
This situation.
Not in the tie game. Larry.
If any part of your body, if you clear it, it's
During
legal.
the kick, personal foul, leaping number 91 on the defense. Arizona's exercised the option of leaving the extra point on the board and having the penalty enforced on the kickoff, 15 yards.
You bet. Yeah. You were going to break a 20-20 tie. You keep it. The run by Johnson to keep it going. Fitzgerald with a catch. 21-20 Cardinals. Thursday Night Football comes your way on CBS and the NFL Network. In 4 nights, it's the Jets against the Buffalo Bills. He's trying to get up off the deck after losses today. Looking down into University of Phoenix Stadium. Roof is closed. Over 100 degrees outside at game time. 71 here. And that kickoff winds up somewhere in Mesa. I can tell you that Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Wendy's. And by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Well, widely considered as America's greatest architect, Frank Lloyd Wright's 600-acre winter studio and home known as Taliesin West, located in nearby Scottsdale. From the 25. Play action, and he gets swallowed up. Chandler Jones already has a fumble recovery tonight, and now a sack. 12.5 for him last year for Bill Belichick's team. And now an Arizona Cardinal having a big debut.
That's the reason you pay pass rushers big money. Watch this little loop back inside, a little juke right there, just like a running back like David Johnson's been doing. And for Garoppolo, now that they're playing more of these zone defenses, he's holding the ball just fractionally longer, giving these guys a chance.
5-yard sack, 2nd down and 15. Sidearm, incomplete, intended for James White. That'll make it 3rd down and 15.
Good play by Marcus Golden. He read it late, but he did see it. He's had a pretty nice game out here tonight. He was the guy that maybe they thought they could get more out of. 4 sacks last year, and here we go. This is where we've seen Tom Brady do so many special things, but you sure don't want to turn one over and take too many chances here.
3rd and 15. Full decibel from the crowd. Play clock at 2. Shoulder shake, and again, and Garoppolo fires downfield, and getting open and making the catch is Danny Amendola. So Garoppolo able to extend the play twice with that shoulder shake, and then Amendola gets free in midfield.
How fantastic was that? The mobility has been a bigger and bigger factor as we've gone along in this game. Scrambled around, bought some time. His eyes down the field. They tried to do a little trick, took a big shot at the end of that. They did a little fake quick screen, and we're going to try and run somebody deep. That didn't work, and Garoppolo just moved around until he found somebody open.
32-yard gain on a 3rd and 15, and Blunt is going to get tackled in the backfield. Tony Jefferson came flying through to get him as he took the ball off the handoff.
They were going to try and crack with the wide receiver coming down the line of scrimmage, but it was too late because Tony Jefferson was blitzing and there was just nothing else anybody could do. Martellus Bennett's going to release, but Jefferson's going to come right by him. You could see, I think that was Malcolm Mitchell out there coming down. No, that was Hogan trying to get that crackback block, but there was no way.
6-yard loss, 2nd down and 16. Under 8 minutes to play. 4-man rush. Garoppolo fires over the middle, making the catch at the 41-yard line is Danny Amendola. Coming back from a couple of injuries, knee and ankle, limited in work during the preseason, but 2 big catches here. 3rd down and 3 now.
Yeah, obviously this script yet to be written here, but Garoppolo's been impressive. You know, he's been calm in the pocket. He's moved when he needed to move and needs another one.
And without Gronkowski. 3rd and 3.
You want Brandon Williams at the top again. He's one-on-one. Nope.
Only a 3-man rush, and that is somehow caught by White. In a lot of traffic, White makes the catch, and that gives them a 1st down to the 34.
This is what Bill Belichick always has, a running back that he can split out, create a matchup against a safety, and feel like he has the advantage. And James White, simply one of the better receiving backs that there is in football right now. Big play.
From the 34-yard line. Here's Blunt, and he gets tripped up in the backfield, so that's Jefferson. Been involved in the 6-yard loss, was covering on that last pass, and is able to tackle him as he gets the handoff here. 2nd down and 11.
Well, they're even bringing Edelman now down to around the line of scrimmage like they would a Hines Ward or a Larry Fitzgerald, but they're just firing Tony Jefferson off the edge and they just can't get to him.
Second and 11.
And the fullback James Devlin flanked out now.
Pass is incomplete here. That's intended for Martellus Bennett. Covered on the play by Peterson, so it's 3rd and 11. And you would be talking about, if they don't gain a yard here, another 52 or 53-yard field goal attempt for Gostowski.
Yeah, it's a tough call here for Josh McDaniels, but I think you have to make sure it's completed. You certainly can't take a sack or a penalty here to drive you out of range, but anything short is going to help this field goal. All right.
Yeah, and they give it to Blunt, and Blunt's going to get a 1st down all the way to the 22. So they needed 11, got 13, broke away from Peterson. 1st down, Patriots.
Got the defense all sitting back there. All they're thinking is go ahead and take the check down there, Jimmy Garoppolo. Instead, he turns around and hands it off, and Patrick Peterson misses the tackle. That was a big missed tackle. Because now you've got the clock ticking down here, and you're already in field goal range. So they're going to try and milk this for all it's worth.
Now you're under 5 minutes. Play clock at 3. Double zeros, and they should be called for delay a game here, and they will be.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
As Josh McDaniels told me, there's some things you can only learn by playing in the game, and that was a moment. That's frustrating for an offensive coordinator. You got things going, a little momentum on your side, and you stop the clock as well.
Loss from 5, back to the 27. 10th play of the drive coming up. A couple of real key conversions. 3rd down on this drive. Flip it out. And look at that move by James White. Getting to the 20-yard line.
Well, it's really just a backbreaker when you got that many people in position to make a tackle, and you just simply, I mean, he buckled the knees of Dayon Buchanan in there. So valuable.
So Arizona takes a timeout, and they're down to one left. Bruce Arians called that timeout. We were kind of shaking our heads a little bit up here. Does he call it because he's trying to preserve the clock? We understand on the front side of the 2-minute warning, but with 4.5. Or maybe he thought his guys were just gassed and needed a break. In any event, that's a valuable timeout that just went by the boards. 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the 20-yard line. And Garoppolo throws on the run. Into the 17 goes Danny Amendola. So on this drive, New England has converted 3rd and 15, 3rd and 3, and 3rd and 11. Now it's 3rd and 5, and Arians is going to take another timeout. So he's used all of his timeouts now, and the only other time the clock stops is the 2-minute warning. So, well, Bruce does some odd and unusual things, and normally quite successful. But I can't remember a game, Chris, I've seen the timeouts used in this manner with this much time left.
Yeah, me either, except that he came up with a pretty good play there after his defense got a breath. So maybe that's part of the process, but now this begins to make this a very important play. And you wonder what Belichick may be thinking on this one. But this is really big. Let him kick the field goal here and you still have no problem.
Problem may be New England gets the ball back at the other side. 3rd and 5. And Garoppolo escaping again and can't get the first down. But in will come Gostowski to try to give them the lead. Dayon Buchanan makes the tackle. It'll be 4th down and 2.
Boy, it sure is nice to have a middle linebacker with safety skills. He was drafted as a safety, but he plays linebacker on this team. Garoppolo's got some good quickness, but Buchanan gets him on the ground. He breaks that tackle. He may well have picked it up. Big play.
32-yard field goal attempt coming now for Gostowski.
Timeouts look a little better now.
And New England takes the lead again with 3:44 remaining in regulation. It's 23-21. Sunday night next week, very special night. Brand new stadium opening in Minneapolis, and it's the Packers and the Vikings. That alone on any given Sunday. Fantastic rivalry. There's a look at US Bank Stadium. We will be there in Minneapolis. Vikings came from behind today thanks to their defense. Packers had a wild one with Jacksonville, held on, so each will come in 1-0 on Sunday night. 3-yard line, Andre Ellington flagged down. Ellington comes back to the 18-yard line.
I tell you, they've kicked it short 4 out of 5 times, and not once has Arizona.
Holding, receiving team number 27. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal.
Huge.
1st down.
Yeah, Tyvon Branch, who's going to back him up.
Of course, you know the rule change that they're going to bring it out to the 25-yard line. So what's Belichick going to do? Heck with that. We're playing football. They're going to pooch this thing straight up in the air, let his cover team go down there. They've done it 4 of the 5 kicks, I think it is tonight, and every one of them, they've held them short of the 25, and now they're at the 8-yard line.
Well, Belichick for years always puts a premium on special teams. He's got Matthew Slater leading that group. Great cover guys, and pins them back inside the 10. Arizona drive begins from the 8-yard line. 3:38 remaining. Palmer throws, and that is caught by John Brown. That's a gain of 8.
Every time they move David Johnson around, Carson Palmer knows the exact coverage. He knows exactly what's going on. When they flank him out and the corner is on him, they know it's a zone, and he goes right back to the alternative receiver.
2nd and 2, and that is caught by Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald breaking away out to the 37. First down, clock continues to run. I was going to say, Chris, they're almost in 4-down territory no matter where they are right now because of the timeout situation.
I think that's the way Arians probably would have played it regardless.
Right. Otherwise, New England could just about have run the clock out. Only time it can stop for Arizona is at the 2-minute warning. Palmer. Oh, he's almost picked. It is Justin Coleman who got a hand in there. And it's incomplete. Second down and 10, intended for Jerron Brown.
It was actually Jerron Brown that got a hand in there to save the interception. Jerron Brown's had such a good camp. They wanted to play him more and more, but this one was in very dangerous territory, and Brown saves that one.
At the 37-yard line, second down and 10.
This is Larry Fitzgerald time. You just got to give that guy a chance to win the game. We've seen him do it too many times.
2 touchdowns for Fitz tonight, 6 catches. Palmer fires, and at the 49-yard line, who else but number 11? First down, Logan Ryan with the tackle.
Give a little credit to DJ Humphries on that one as well. He's out there, the young man's trying to do as well as he can. Hasn't been a perfect night by any means for him, but he handled Chris Long that time.
2:15 and ticking down. Palmer fires over the middle, and that may have been tipped, and that's incomplete. It's second down and 10. Go back to Larry's last catch.
I mean, it's just magical. The way the ball sticks in his hand sometimes, and so disciplined with it, and his eyes right there. Here's the first catch. That was the harder one. He didn't even see that ball, and then the touchdown was looking straight up in the sky and made that one.
They go 3-by-1 to the left side on second down and 10. And it's tossed out to Johnson, and Johnson will be taken out of bounds by McCourty, setting up a third down and 7. And as we say, you're in a situation here where you got to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, I think so too. And really, Canzero, not really a big long range kind of kicker. The long of his career is 51 yards. Long last year 47. So if you're thinking about any sort of miracle kick here, they probably would have to go for it on fourth down if they don't convert.
Third and 6. They put Johnson now in the slot. Palmer over the middle. It's Fitzgerald again, taking us to the 2-minute warning with a first down. Tackled by Logan Ryan. Is he 33 or 23?
Amazing.
2-minute warning. What a game. Right after the game, Volkswagen post-game report. Michelle with the stars of the game. Bob, Tony, and Mike break it all down. And a look ahead to next week's game in Minneapolis, Packers-Vikings. 100th career TD. He's caught 2 tonight, 8 catches. On this drive alone, he's caught balls of 21, 15, and 10 yards. Accounting for 46 of the 58 Cardinal yards on this drive. They're in field goal range right now, and this is Johnson. He takes it to the 33, and now it's Belichick who has to start thinking about taking the timeouts.
Right, so one more first down, and basically Bruce Arians controls the game at that point because he'll have to burn the 3 timeouts. But, you know, he is in field goal range, let's say that. But Chandler Catanzaro was 28 of 31 last year, but his 3 misses, 47, 51, and 55. He did not miss under 47 yards, I believe it was.
Let's go to Michelle.
Well, last week in their final preseason game, Chandler Catanzaro hit a 59-yarder, and he told me, guys, before the game, he feels comfortable 60 yards and in based on that kick about a week ago.
Yeah, I think you feel a lot more comfortable in preseason than you do trying to win a game at the end. But we'll see. Second down and 9 from the 33-yard line.
Comfort means a lot to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. And down the sideline. Oh, is he in bounds? comes. It is Justin Coleman who comes down with it. There's a flag down.
And I think you might have a hold. And if it is,
Holding offense number 78. 10-yard penalty and repeat, second down.
So that is Watford taking Mathis's spot, costing him 10.
here we go, right there. That's Chris Long across from him. And he pulled him down to the ground. Boy, this was close.
Out of bounds, though, regardless. Right now, so now you're out of field goal range, unless you don't want to try a 62-yarder. Good luck. 2nd and 19. 151. Pats with 2 timeouts. Palmer spins away. Ellington nowhere to go. To the 48-yard line. Sheard makes the stop. 3rd down and 24.
The reality is 3rd down and we've got to get back in field goal range. We're going to find out how comfortable from 60 yards Chandler Catanzaro is, but they still have to pick up 7 or 8 yards to just give him that shot.
Well, that penalty also enabled Belichick not to have to use a timeout because they're out of field goal range right now. He can save his 2. 3rd down and 23. And now they take a timeout.
Timeout.
Dante Hightower takes
New
it.
England, they're second.
On a 3rd and 23.
I don't think Belichick liked what he saw.
No, yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was a much more, okay, guys, let's think about this now. Don't worry about guarding down to the 1st down marker. They had Jamie Collins wandering around right down there, so they were going to try and funnel everything into him on this play. Hightower, for whatever reason, didn't feel good about that, and that's probably a good discussion on the sideline over there for Matt Patricia, saying, guys, listen, we're really guarding the 10-yard area here.
Third and 23. Fitzgerald matched up with Ryan. Palmer over the middle. Caught 29-yard line, and this time it's Jerron Brown. Now they're back in field goal range. Or on a 4th down, they will spot the ball at the 29-yard line.
And I'm surprised they're not taking a timeout.
Yeah. Well, New England, meanwhile, Arizona's out of time.
Not Arizona, New England.
Exactly. 4th and 5. Now you've got Catanzaro.
Got to take that timeout.
Well, you should, and they will now.
New England.
But this is where Belichick did not take a timeout in the Super Bowl and came up smelling like roses.
But
yeah,
you've got to preserve what time you have left, because in theory, if he makes it, then you get your shot to go the other way and kick a field goal.
Jerron Brown making the catch, getting them back into field goal range, working on the rookie Jones. So you're going to have about a 47-yard attempt to give them the lead, and then New England gets the ball back. No timeouts.
Perfect under 47 yards last year. Misses 47, 51, and 55.
Drew Butler to hold it. Cameron Canaday to snap it, to try to give the Cardinals the lead again. Low snap, he gets it down, and the kick is no good. Bad snap.
Cameron Canaday, the rookie snapper. You try and save a little money here and there. That snap was low and away, and it just threw off the entire timing of the kick.
And both our games this week, Thursday and Sunday, come down to a missed field goal at the end.
So many people thought that if New England could just go 2-2 in the first 4 games without Tom Brady, that they would be set. Everybody in their division loses, They come in against a very tough Arizona team here and get it done.
And now 3 home games before they get Brady back. Well, it'll be a long night for Canada, but it comes down at the end to a bad snap. What a game for Fitzgerald. Amazing.
Very nice game for Jimmy Garoppolo, too. On the road, under pressure, no Gronkowski. All the pressure on him, and he got it done.
23-21. Patriots in a back and forth opening night game in the desert. From 47, Butler was able to get it down, but the mistiming, the kick wide to the left. And the Patriots go home for the next 3, upsetting the Cardinals on the road. Volkswagen postgame coming up on the other side of the break.
Welcome to the Volkswagen Passat post-game report. Here now, Bob Costas.
A low snap didn't help, but Chandler Catanzaro misses from 47. Otherwise, it would be the Cardinals who'd be celebrating. Instead, New England, a big underdog without Brady and without Gronkowski and other important players missing. They come into Arizona and win it 23-21. The game balls will go to Jimmy Garoppolo and to Julian Edelman. Garoppolo, making his first NFL start, was 24 for 33 for 264 and a touchdown. Edelman caught 7 of those passes for 66 yards, and Garoppolo and Edelman get to visit with Michelle.
Jimmy, to come on the road, you've got a banged-up offensive line, you don't have Gronkowski, and you're playing a really good team. How do you explain this win?
You know, just all 3 phases. I mean, it really was. Everyone playing team football, great complimentary football. You know, it was just one of those nights. It's a good win, good team win.
How would you evaluate you?
You know, there's plenty of room for improvement. You know, we'll look at the film and get it corrected for next week.
You couldn't wait to get this game started and actually play.
Oh, man.
Now that it's in the books, what's going through your mind?
It's a great feeling. You know, just the whole team all around. You know, you really got to credit everybody. Yeah, it's an awesome feeling.
Congratulations. And Julian, you were helping him quite a bit out there. How did he do?
You know, he came in here and he did his job. He executed the offense. You know, it's good to see him come out here and play well.
How were you two able to find a connection as quickly as you did?
You know, we just did our job. We stayed in the scheme. We took in the coaching. We had a good week of practice, and we were able to execute in the game.
We know that Tom Brady's at home watching. You want to say anything?
Love you, buddy. We're going to get a couple more for you. A few more.
Congratulations.
Love you, Mom.
Bob.
All right, Michelle, and the schedule is favorable. Next 3 are all at home against Miami, Houston, and Buffalo before Brady returns against Cleveland in Week 5. Things don't look so bad for the Patriots as we bring in Tony Dungy. Tony, how was New England able to get it done tonight?
Well, Bob, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo was outstanding, and as they said, he did his job. But I always marvel at Bill Belichick and his coaching staff because no matter who they have playing, who's out, they always do one thing. They take away what the opponent does best. Tonight, they took away the blitzing from Arizona's defense by throwing quick passes, running LeGarrette Blount, and they took away the deep pass to Carson Palmer and made them adjust and have to throw underneath. I thought it was just an outstanding coaching job by the Patriots staff.
On the other hand, if you're Bruce Arians, you know that your next 5 games on the schedule are all against teams that didn't make the playoffs a year ago, and you came close to beating the Patriots. Granted, Patriots were without Brady, without Gronkowski, as we've mentioned all night long. If you're Bruce Arians, what are you telling your team in the locker room now or when you reconvene for practice?
Well, you can't get down over one loss, but this is a game they obviously felt like they were going to win. You're playing at home. You never want to lose at home. You're playing to a backup quarterback, a banged-up team, and you had a chance to win it. So you get over that as every coach does. Hey, let's look at the tape, examine our mistakes, and improve. But we've got a lot of football left to play. We're not going to hang our head over one loss.
Tony, thanks. Let's move over now to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. So, Mike, Russell Wilson injured his ankle today. Seahawks victory. What's the latest you're hearing about his condition?
Well, Bob, the ankle injury bothered Russell Wilson for the rest of the game. Afterward, he acknowledged that it's sore. This is going to be one of those things we need to keep an eye on because it could linger. He could wake up very stiff in the morning, and they are playing a tough Rams defense next weekend. First regular season game back in L.A. since 1994. And in Minnesota next weekend, new stadium opening, but it's going to be the same routine we saw this past week. Will it be Shaun Hill? Will it be Sam Bradford at quarterback for the Vikings? Coach Mike Zimmer will surely keep it close to his vest. Shaun Hill played very well enough to win on Sunday in Tennessee, but they're trying to get Bradford ready to go. He's the guy with the upside that they think can carry them where they want to go. Tomorrow, I'll talk to receiver Stephon Diggs, who had 103 receiving yards for the Vikings today on PFT Live, and maybe he'll tell me who's going to start next week. I have a feeling, though, Bobby probably won't.
Okay, Mike, thanks as always for the info, and we look forward to Pro Football Talk Live tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern on NBCSN, followed by the Dan Patrick Show from 9 to noon with Hall of Famer James Lofton as a guest. Final score in Arizona, Pats 23, Cards 21. Alan Chris back to wrap it up after this.
Welcome back to the Volkswagen Passat post-game report.
Rodgers fades, pressure comes, he feels it, he steps up, he throws as he's hit, one-on-one, end zone, caught, touchdown! Miraculous look. Mariota shotgun, play action, he's going to dump it, intercepted Eric Ricks, and there he goes, touchdown! A 76-yard pick six.
Wasn't easy for either team, but it's the Packers and the Vikings, each coming in 1-0, opening up the brand new stadium in Minneapolis. Very hot day in Jacksonville. Jaguars, a very much improved team, but the Packers were able to get it done down there.
They sure did, and anytime you get on the road, and both these teams did, very important. But for Jordy Nelson to come back and that be a factor, Eddie Lacy looked trimmed down, and then the defense basically carried the day. So you just wonder how soon can Sam Bradford get ready. It's not easy, Al. I mean, you're trying to just remember the plays themselves and then go out there and make it work. It won't be easy.
Yeah, the defense got it done for Minnesota, certainly. 2 big defensive touchdowns. So whether it's Hill, whether it's Bradford, we don't know. As we say, it might be next week or we find out, but it's going to be some night in Minneapolis. That's a beautiful building.
I cannot wait to see that building.
So that's Sunday Night Football. Next week, we will talk to you from the Twin Cities. Final score again tonight was 23-21, New England. As that wraps up our coverage of Week 1, Michaels, Collinsworth, Tafoya, Costas, Tirico, the whole gang, Godelli, and Esikoff saying good night from Glendale, Arizona. We'll talk to you next Sunday.